Greetings. It's an honor to be here presenting at the 6th International Conference on Future Smart Cities. I will be presenting and including research on behalf of my colleagues Terry Edwards and Jason Sabalos, who respectively work for United Airlines and American Airlines. Our presentation today is on sustainability, smart cities, and global travel, and how we can mitigate climate change using existing digital twin technology and using this through the lens and methodology of digital humanism. So today we'll be looking at an overview of how these types of technologies have been used up to this point, what people are already doing in aviation and utilizing XR, AR, VR, right, augmented reality, virtual reality, and once again, these digital twins in order to improve upon, say, costs in airline industry. But the argument will be, of course, that we can use the same tools to inform sustainability efforts. Now, global air travel has had a big impact on climate change. We should note that we have billions of tons of cargo, not to mention humans, that are transported every year across the globe. There's really very few places that planes are not traveling and touch parts of the environment in various states of the atmosphere. We know also that air travel is a significant contributor to climate change. Up to 2% of global CO2 emissions can be attributed to the airline industry. Now, we know that up to this point, we're seeing utilization of digital twins, and that is creating a digital example and perfect replica of an object, a person, and or a thing that can then be tracked and or viewed live for many purposes. At the moment, these digital twins in airports are primarily used predominantly to improve or increase profits, looking at maximizing HVAC systems and heating and cooling in large spaces, as well as maximizing cargo transport. Therefore, this study aims to expand upon that and investigate the potential of the methodological approach of digital humanism, which is looking not at profits, but at what is good for humans and a human-centric vision overall with digital twins and XR to create a better sustainable aviation. Now, strategies that have already been used up to this point in the airline industry include looking towards, again, alternative fuels such as biofuels, looking at different types of electrical systems which will reduce the use of fuel, speed up these transportation times, as well as looking at air traffic management. So, for instance, these advanced systems that went into place a few years ago, such as ADS-B and ADS-C, are used to optimize flight paths, thereby reducing fuel consumption while looking at wind patterns and trajectories across the globe. Now, we've also seen the use of digital twins in planning, that being real-time data collection has been used in energy management. So we can look at, as with HVACs, what is being used where and if it needs to be, so we can save money on these types of costs. Now, we should reconsider this role and extend it beyond this type of profit optimization and look at sustainability, as several studies have mentioned to this point. Therefore, there are many integration opportunities for these emerging technologies in order to take what already exists and then use it instead to reduce initially fuel consumption and costs there, but then in the long term, looking at how to reduce travel and look at more sustainable options in general. Now, XR technologies and digital twin integration has again been used in the airline industry. This is not something that is new. So we know that it's used to create simulations, scenarios, pilot training, looking at the particular impact on performance, training for in-flight staff, training in this way. We know that it's used to promote environmental responsibility, showing what things look like. We also, if you can use since the pandemic, right, XR technology in order to facilitate, three-dimensional virtual meetings, thus reducing the need to even travel to distant locations, just as we're doing now with this particular conference, as I am not physically present in the same time and space as everyone who's watching this. We also find that passenger engagement has been used with AR in order to raise awareness of the environmental impact of their traveling, thereby, empowering them to make better choices about when to travel and why. Now, in looking through the lens of digital humanism, we can look instead at this problem, not in terms of profit nor even in terms of environmental responsibility or ecology, but instead the human experience and well-being associated with it. That being, creating these efficient systems using the metaverse as a platform is something we can do today, building upon these existing efforts that are already in place. The virtual representation of these twins is already being used, coupled with artificial intelligence, to identify different areas that need, say, repair on runways and the tarmac. We find that it can easily identify these cracks and where these repairs and count them up and when they need to happen. But in integrating the additional XR technologies, these immersive experiences are able to further engage the stakeholders and be able to identify what, when, and how their impact is, thus looking at a holistic, people-centered approach to technology. Therefore, this study explores the integration of digital twins and XR through the lens of digital humanism in order to enhance sustainability within the international airline industry, and for planning in the future of new airports and or the monitoring of existing and once again decaying capital projects. So the results, of course, are going to demonstrate the potential is there for digital twins to create and monitor and optimize energy consumption and efficiency. We're already doing it, but not for the purpose of sustainability for smart cities. So the integration of these technologies are going to foster even further informed decision making that, yes, do lead to greater profits and saving money on fuel costs and getting more people through, looking at flight paths, looking at cargo, right, and its destination that goes internationally via air cargo travel, but also for sustainability purposes. So based upon these technologies, we're able to identify the inefficiencies and evaluate the impact of these various strategies and run through them as simulations almost instantaneously, especially with the use of AI now. For further information, feel free to contact me or my colleagues. Here is my email, jhutson@lindenwood.edu, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the conference.